I think if you are not comfortable with pivoting, this is not your industry. Every 3 months, the market is really different and you have to adjust. If it's grow, or actually be more specific about being lean and very organized.
All right. Lilach, give us a little bit of your background about the Mazor Collective and Giving Tree.
Yes, so we have been in business for 12 years now. So one of the first dispensaries to open in Phoenix. We are vertically integrated, so a grow, manufacturing, packing, retail, and wholesale. So we wholesale one brand, it's called Sneakers, and it's a pre-roll brand in about 70 stores in Arizona.
70, that's a lot.
That's about half of the market. Yes.
That's a lot.
That's pretty good for a small business,
Yeah.
and it's been great.
Tell us about the relative size of the business, like how many employees, what is your footprint? Because
Yes.
it's a lot. What you just described is a lot for a business, right?
It feels that way.
Sometimes more than others.
Sometimes more than others. Yeah, it depends on the day and the time of the day, right?
Right.
But in general, we have 40 employees. So we are one of the 15% market that has one store. So we're very, very small portion of the market actually have one store. Right. So a true small business. So we have 39 employees, and then they are working in the cultivation, post-harvest, packing, receiving, and then the retail store has about 20 employees.
So that is a small business by definition, but it seems like that's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people and it's a lot of learning, right? I think this is what this industry brings. Like, okay, so you have to learn how to be a farmer and how to be a purchaser and how to run inventory and how to manage marketing. Like, we do it all with all the issues that comes with this industry of how to operate this business.
And do those challenges change over time or get easier to deal with?
It definitely changes. I think if you are not comfortable with pivoting, this is not your industry. Every 3 months, the market is really different and you have to adjust. If it's grow, or actually be more specific about being lean and very organized to then hire and grow, and then like, okay, well now it's shrinking. So you have to be very comfortable with those challenges and those changes. I don't think it got easier, but it did get different. So in the 12 years that I've been in the industry, it started from like, let's learn what this means to operate in this market, to now a lot about, okay, so now we're seeing this race to the bottom, oversupply. Let's definitely adjust to being more about, discipline.
See, Jeremy's in business school.
Yeah.
So this is like
so I know a lot about supply and demand.
It's all like a whole case study.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yes.
But how do you, on the oversupply question, how do you deal with the oversupply problem, right? As a brand, because there's stuff you have control over and there's stuff you don't. So how do you think about that and deal with that in the future?
So for us, as a small business, we had to adjust with what we do. So in the beginning, we sell about 90% of what we grow in our own retail store. So that kind of protects us from the outside market. But what I see is on the wholesale side, because people just have so much supply and are doing their own thing, we noticed that, okay, let's pick our favorite stores and focus on them and grow there, instead of let's buy from others and become this huge thing. Let's be more specific, go back to basic. Like, we have great flower, great pre-roll, and we're not for everyone, and that is okay. So we changed the goals of the brand and really became a brand that is in specific stores that we support and they support us instead of the volume.
I want to ask you about the retail component of it, because retail's, well, it's all hard, so let's get that out there, but retail is specifically hard, or particularly hard, and consumers are fickle. Like, what have you learned about retail in particular that you can apply to, of course, your own business, but also how you work within an industry that is constantly changing?
I think what I learned the most is know who you are and silence the noise. So there's so much noise in this industry and so much, these people are doing this and these people are doing that. No, you're not for everyone. Who are you and why are people coming to you? At a small business, I think what we're seeing is people are coming to us, and 70% of our customers are loyal customers. They don't go anywhere else. When we run big sales, we get customers of others, and that's how we see different people. But people become fans, like raving fans of Giving Tree, because we don't just upsell. We really try to become part of their journey and their life, and we know them and they know us, and our people don't turn over. They come and see the same people for years, which is great. And we celebrate wins with them. If they found a strain that is like the perfect high or the perfect sleep or the perfect thing for social, like it doesn't matter. We're there to be a part of it.
That 70% is a big number. Like that's really good. And it's also good to drive more people to store.
For sure.
I want to focus on the drive more people to store. So they're there for a sale, or they're there for an occasion, or they're there, it's 420, it's Green Wednesday, whatever, or a promotion that you're running. How do you turn that one time into more times? Like what are the tactics you and your team or the team on the ground actually try to turn on to get them to be repeat customers?
I think the minute you walk into Giving Tree, you feel the difference. So we have open floor, we have sitting areas. You can walk around and talk to a person, or walk around and not talk to a person. You can, you see the difference with their knowledge and their passion. My team is phenomenal. They won't work for more of a corporate, like go, go, go. They are there to discuss the everything with you. So it's for people that are looking for that high level of customer care, passion and knowledge. And people that experience that after they were a different type of retail, they become our raving fans. And this is how we get to see that most of the people that come in, they're like, oh, we always thought you were expensive, but now we see we can afford it, and your loyalty program is great, then they become regulars. But it's hard, right? It's hard to convince a person as we all sell kind of the same things,
Right.
except for a flower. The known brands in this market are the same in my store or the dollar store across the street, right? It's the same. So it's hard to convince people to pay difference, but I think people have learned that they can come to us and still get the experience and the pricing.
It's a good model. If you can do it.
If you can do it. It's a lot of reminding yourself and the team that when you race to the bottom, you get to the bottom, and we cannot be part of it, right? We are a true small business. We do not have the extra investors to just pile money into bad money. So we have to be very disciplined in how we do things.
Well, you shouldn't give away the secret sauce. Maybe you've said too much.
Delete.
Rewind and delete. But you must also, given that background of everything that you and the business does, you have the retail, you have all the sort of different parts of the business sort of that you do, you must see when you walk into dispensaries here in Nevada or other places, you're like, oh, they're doing it wrong, or like they could improve this. Thank God they're not, but like you must see that all the time.
It's very different.
Yeah.
And I think every state is kind of different.
Yeah.
You see the culture of the state or the city in the dispensary. And this is why for us, you get the everything in Arizona, right? There's 170 licenses. There is 35 groups that control a lot of it. And then you pick what you want. Do you want more like the clean corporate side? Do you want the local shop? Do you want the volume cheap weed? Like you get to pick, and it's for everyone.
Right.
You just have to decide who you are and who is your customer, and the customer needs to decide where they're going.
Did you know that going in? Meaning, like, how much of that is based on the actual location? How much of that is based on your staff at that location, or their competition within the neighborhood? Like, could you do that going in? Like, I want to open one there, and this is what we're going to be like, or do you have to move in there and sort of meld with the neighborhood?
You have to become part of your neighborhood. So I can't be something that my neighborhood is not.
Right.
When it was medical, I think people traveled for the dispensary. At this
Right.
point, most of the people are coming because they either work there or they live there. So for us, it's a lot about doing things with the community too, and understanding what they care about and who is that person, right? So we hire 20% veterans, and there's a lot of veterans in our community. They love that. They see it. They care. So you have to learn what that neighborhood is made of.
It sounds like convenience is one thing and experience is the other thing. And if you nail those two, then you're in a good spot.
Yes, you are. Even though this market is still hard to say
Right.
we're in a good spot.
Sure, a better spot than you were.
We're in a better
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Looking ahead to 2025, what do you think are the major opportunities for you and your business looking ahead to the next year?
So I think in Arizona, because we are only based in Arizona, we're getting traction with our brand. So the pre-roll becomes bigger and bigger.
Sneakers.
Sneakers.
I like it.
Thank you. And then the other opportunity is we see that when we stop becoming something that we're not, we get more and more loyal customers. So really leaning on, hey, we've been in this market for 13 years. We are your local store. Our flour is amazing for a great price. And what people are coming for is our people. I'm not the business, they are. The people that people see. From the security guard that opens the door to the person that checks them out. It's them. So hire people that fit our cultures and our values is the real opportunity. Because that's when we see more and more reviews, more and more people talking about it, and more people becoming loyal customers. But the opportunity is really to become more and more disciplined and more lean, because this is the market. You have to be a lean company to survive this price reduction.
Yeah. Some nuggets in there. I
Yeah.
like it. We should can this interview and send it to retailers. Be like, this is how you do business. But I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'll send it to everybody, people outside of Arizona. How's that?
Outside of Arizona, I think you have to know that weed is a commodity.
Right.
And either if you put it into a packaged product or if you have a retail store, it's not all the same. And you're not for everyone. And be okay with that, right? Even this conference is not for everyone.
Right.
Your podcast is not for everyone.
Yeah.
Don't try to be for everyone. And just continue to go for why you started it, and it will grow.
Well, this podcast is for cannabis industry nerds, mostly.
It's for what?
Cannabis industry nerds. If you don't care
I
about
love
the
that.
industry,
Everyone who's a cannabis industry nerd.
Yeah.
yeah. And that is the core
Yeah.
audience here for sure.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your time today. This has been great.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming by.
This is awesome.